Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. Fun for all except my wallet. For all it goes to the cashier in exchange for gifts from my family and friends. Hey, why is the ceiling leaking? Hey there everybody, it's officially the Christmas season, also known as my favorite time of the year. Just think about it. There's cookies, decorations, gifts, icicles on the rooftop, tons of snow, holiday debt, getting Target brand socks and that don't even fit for Christmas. But there are two great pieces of media about Christmas that basically make up the holiday season, and those are movies and carols. Now normally I would be talking about carols, but Bob is still recovering from getting run over by a reindeer the first time, and I have no other jokes to make about Christmas carols, so I will be focusing on Christmas movies. Christmas movies are a very diverse genre of movies. You got the movie Rudolph on one side of the spectrum, a heartwarming family classic about a reindeer with a glowing red pimple, and on the other side of the spectrum you have Die Hard, which isn't really about any of that stuff. But even with this diverse genre of movies, there still isn't a Christmas movie made by super cool man himself, Phantom Rabbit YT, but we will be scratching that itch for the two people that wanted one, because today, with help from my buddies, we will be making a Christmas movie. Now you may be wondering how I plan to make a Christmas movie. Well, it's simple. I'm gonna let my friends go crazy making up characters, settings, conflicts, and themes, while I use this super cool task group of movies to come up with other stuff. So let's start off with my favorite movie of all time next to The Godfather and My Cousin Vinny, A Christmas Story. If you didn't know what this movie is about, here's a general Cliff Notes version. This kid named Ralphie wants what any kid in Indiana wants, which is a gun. A Red Ryder BB gun. Anyway, no one wants him to get one because they say he'll shoot his eye out. But his furnace fighter of a father gets him one, and what does this kid do? He shoots his eye out, of course. Now personally, I think that the two things we can take away from this movie is to include a gun and a furnace. Anyway, this is an S-tier movie. Next movie, Home Alone. This kid named Kevin gets left home alone in a beautiful house, and the only people who seem to realize it besides his mom are Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, also known as the Wet Bandits. So they try and rob the house, but Kevin has plans. As he sets up extremely elaborate booby traps that could literally kill the robbers. He's got a flamethrower attached to the door, paint buckets. Daniel Stern gets an iron dropped on him. If there were robbers in my house, the most I could do is push them down the stairs. Oh no, sorry Boobaba! Anyway, Kevin's neighbor ends up hitting Pesci and Stern in the head with a shovel, and somehow after all that, they manage to live with very low injuries. Anyway, the only thing I can take out of this movie is to have Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern in the movie. Now this last movie is called Jingle All the Way, and the only reason I'm including it in this task group is because it's the most boring movie with a former Californian governor in it. I didn't even really watch the full movie because I fell asleep halfway through. Arnold Schwarzenegger's good in other movies, but not this stuff. So the only thing we need to take away from this movie is to include a California governor that isn't Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh look, right when we get done with this task group, it seems like my friends have delivered, and oh lord, this is awful. Why am I doing this? Anyway, let's put this into my Christmas movie maker machine and see how it turns out. One day before Christmas, when the snow is white, about to break out was not measles but a fight. Inside a mall where a mall Santa was, sat three men, Thanos, zombie hunter Scrooge, and former California Governor Ronald Reagan. Until just then they hear a large yell, and when they went, they saw a mall Santa getting dragged into hell. But it wasn't hell, it was a German terrorist plane, and the three men knew that this would be a pain. Ronald Reagan shot two of them as they fell out of the jet. But little did they know that they didn't die yet, for it was Joe Pesci and Stern, and they had seen worse, but it really looked like they both needed a nurse. There's blood gushing out my stomach, and I cannot see. I'll tell you what I can, but I need you to take me to pee. Thanos took him to pee and he told them what they needed. He told them the terrorists were in Massachusetts, and they hadn't conceded. How did the three get to Massachusetts? They rode in Santa's sleigh, a Deus Ex Machina provided to them by a super loser dude known as Phantom Rabbit YT today. And when they got to Massachusetts and they saw the plane, they shot it right down in the cold freezing rain. But little did they see the plane about to crash right into a furnace factory. They all looked in the distance and wished the plane was stronger, And then they realized that their mall Santa was no longer. Unfortunately for them though, this cost came with charges. They all went to court and were convicted of 13 counts of murder. Reagan got a life sentence, Zombie Hunter Scrooge had a heart attack during the hearing, and Thanos is totally not hiding in Colombia right now. The end. Wow, that was just really bad, but quite funny. Thanks for watching, and another Christmas video soon.